You didn't search for this video, it found you. The algorithm knows you are escaping. The algorithm knows exactly what you are. You're parasocial, that's your issue. You're spending your time alone, watching people online with these big groups of friends. You're watching their podcasts, their streams, their vlogs. You consume them and become parasocially invested in these characters because for a bit, they make you forget about how lonely you actually are. You're not even watching content for entertainment anymore. You are watching it compulsively to get your mind off of your unsatisfying life. But if you hear me out, I promise you won't ever feel like you need to watch these videos again because you're gonna realize that no matter how entertaining these videos are, there is nothing more important than the story that is your life. Your story, not theirs. If people watch porn to satisfy their needs for intimacy, people watch these YouTubers compulsively. They watch their podcasts and their streams to satisfy their deep need for friendship. If you are obsessively watching this kind of content, deep down, whether you want to admit it or not, you wish you were friends with the creator. And it all makes sense. You keep up with everything about them. All of their wins, all of their fails, their drama, everything. You go and you buy their stickers, you go and spend time making fan art for them, and you spend hours talking about them in their designated communities on Discord or Twitter. Hell, you even check on their Twitter likes. So many raw hours of your life have been spent thinking about these creators you see as your heroes. You think about what's going on in their life, what's going on that is good and what's going on that is bad. You feel like you truly know this person online and you feel like you truly want the best for them. And sometimes you even think that maybe if they got to know you, you guys could be friends. Sometimes you even daydream about what you would say or what you would do if you randomly bumped into these creators when you are out and about. You want them to see you. That's why you tweet at them. That's why you make fan art for them. That's why you comment on their videos. You get such a rush whenever you donate to a streamer because it feels so exciting having your message being read. Your voice is finally being heard by your hero. Because for a brief moment, you feel like you're finally real to them. But you aren't. You aren't real to them. You are paying money to feel like you have a friend. The truth is, your heroes don't care about you. Everything I'm going to say now is going to kill my potential ability to collab with any creator in the future, but I don't care because you genuinely need to know this. These people are not your friends. These people won't ever know or really care if you died tomorrow. And it's not their fault. They don't mean any harm. It's just the reality of it. You need to hear this. These people are not your friends. No matter how many times they say they love their community, their viewers, their donators, they don't actually mean you as the individual. They're talking about the conglomerate of supporters that they have. They love that people love them. They love that people make art for them. They love that people make entire communities devoted to them. Who's not gonna love that? I don't know who needs to hear this, but content creators don't actually want to be friends with you. They don't want to be friends with their viewers, and they especially do not want to be friends with their super fans. They want to be friends with other creators or with other people who are actually doing something they are passionate about with their lives instead of sitting at home and binge watching their content every single day. They love the idea of a fan. They love having that, but they don't actually love the actual person. Your heroes are going to disappoint you, and your parasocial behavior is completely going to creep them out.
No one who was ever great was a stan.
If you think about the greats in every single category, they were not concerned at all about the lives of other people on the internet. They were fully invested in their own story. That's why we love them. Sure, when they were young, they had their influences. They had their people they were really inspired by. They had their own people they were obsessed with and wanted to be more like. But at some point, there's a shift in their head when they realized that they had to start becoming the product, the dream. They had to start becoming the great. Kobe Bryant wasn't worried about moderating a Discord server or Twitter community for Michael Jordan. He wasn't spending every day making a new piece of fan art for him. He was working on his own art, on his own craft, on his original character. He knew that his life was about his story, not theirs, not his, not anyone else's. The great pours their everything into their purpose, their dream, and their craft, while the average watches the great do it again and again and again and decides to opt out to living vicariously through the great than doing anything for themselves. Let me just make it absolutely clear. No matter how you look at it, it's better to be completely and narcissistically obsessed over your own life and your own goals than it is to obsess over the lives of internet personalities. It doesn't matter how great or altruistic the creator you love can be. You are still giving your valuable energy, your time, and your brain power to someone else. And you'll never know what you truly could be capable of if you gave that focus and energy to yourself. If you were as obsessed over your own goals and your own life as you were over them. What if instead of watching YouTube videos, you became the YouTuber? What if instead of making fan art, you made your own original characters with their own stories? What if instead of checking on the latest social media drama, you checked in on yourself? You checked in on your health, your relationships, your goals, your mental health. The people that you love in your life, the people that these creators will never ever have the gift of ever knowing. You are forgetting about how much gold you truly do have in your life, today, here, and now. You probably feel uncomfortable watching this video because I'm reminding you to think about your life, your dreams, your purpose. The point of you watching these creators is to get away from all of that. But you know you can't run away any longer. You know you want to do more with your life. You're getting older and you're running out of time. You're running out of youth. And to top it all off, your life is hard. There's probably a deep-rooted reason why you hyperfixate on these content creators to the extent that you do. You're trying to feel less lonely. You're trying to get your mind off things. You're trying to feel less pain from everything that is your life. But you can't run from it. You must wrestle with this pain. In your story, this is your conflict. This is what matters. The hero's journey is not interesting without conflict or loss. You need to see this conflict, this pain, this loss as everything. When you get through this hard time, this is gonna become the story that you tell your friends and your family. The story that you tell your children that no matter what, no matter how bad your life got, you faced it all and you made it through the other end. Now, isn't that so much more fulfilling than distracting yourself over the lives and stories and drama of YouTubers? You already have so much drama and challenges in your own life. You need to focus on yourself first, because the truth is, nothing that happens online will actually matter or affect you. What matters is making your life meaningful. It's in your life that you should find a way to surround yourself with the funniest and kindest people. It's in your life that you should find a way to be exploring the world, to be making memories, to be seeing other countries. It's in your life that you should find a way to make great art and take that risk of sharing it with the world. And you can only do all these beautiful things if you take back your attention, if you take back your time, if you use all the energy that you were giving to your parasocial obsession, this energy you've been giving away for free, and you steal it back for yourself, for your goals, for your art, for your people, and for your life. That right there is the highest ROI you can use for your time. But how can you actually go about doing this? First, you need to create some serious space for yourself. You need to go on a walk. You need to literally sit down and stare at a wall. You need to allow your brain the time to organize itself out. Allow it the space it truly does need to think about your life and your projects. Because one thing is for sure, none of your own personal problems are gonna be fixed by watching another YouTube video. You will never be able to think if you are constantly watching and listening listening to the noise that other creators are desperately making in order to get other people to look at them. This is about your story, not theirs. There is no difference between you and the greats. You are not below or lesser than the heroes you watch or aspire to be like. At the end of the day, we all bleed the same red. One person just might have messed around with a camera a little bit longer. Do not pedestalize any creator. Do not waste any of your energy on their personal lives, and do not put anyone's story above yours. This is about your story, your life. Not mine, not theirs, not anyone else's. You were meant to be more than just a fan. You were meant to be more than just a viewer. You are the creative. Please, create.